Hi traders and welcome to Pepperstone's Technical Analysis Market Watch on Friday the 12th of June. So I've seen some amazing moves overnight. The US 500 has dropped about 6 or 7% and has pushed basically a lot of the major currencies in the direction that we would have wanted them to go. So there are some really good moves happening into some really good support and resistance. So we'll jump straight in and check it out. Alright, so we'll start with the Aussie Daily. We can see obviously it's come off a little bit in the last day. It was already starting to weaken. I mean, you could see these two candles, the previous daily candles certainly had a little bit of price action there that were indicating that it was going to probably come off this high at around the 70. So there's no real surprise there that it fell off. I guess we weren't really probably expecting it to short off so heavily, but it has moved, the best part of 150 pips. So a pretty nice break of that. The resistance held up, so it was a good breakdown from that level. So look, where it goes to from here, it's obviously found itself now at a place of a bit of role reversal. Like you can see, if I draw a horizontal line, you're going to see that this coincides with quite a few areas. You can see we've got support here. It was resistance there. It was resistance there. So that sort of 68.50 area is an important zone for it. But it's going to really come down to what happens with the US dollar index, really, and a lot of the other US dollar based pairs. There's certainly a lot of weakness in the market now. So the MACD signal line is about to come out of the histogram. So that's always a bit of a negative sign. But you would expect that it's probably going to find a little bit more trouble at this area here. And when it breaks through there, it has got the moving averages in front of it. So just, one of those ones to keep an eye on. I think if it comes back down and touches the 20, even if it breaks through there, it'll probably find a little bit of support there. It certainly has all the way up. But a big adverse move on some of the other pairs. We'll see this one potentially get back down to this level here, which is actually the real key for it, at around that sort of 66.50 area. There, it's going to find all sorts of trouble, good strong support and resistance. So it's going to be good roll reversal. It's got a 200 there as well. So that's probably the target if we are going to short it. But just a wait and see. You don't want to just jump on a moving train on this one. You want to be going to the smaller time frames and making sure you've got your sequences of higher highs and higher lows to jump in. Okay, so if we go back down to a 1 hour even, you can see obviously it's falling quite sharply. We want to be seeing this probably pull back to the 20 and then maybe trying to take advantage of a short from that level there and continue on to the short on the bigger time frame. All right, we'll move on to the US Dollar Cad. This has been a nice one. This is just absolutely classic roll reversal here. You can see that we know we broke this triangle. We've been talking about that for a while. It's been pretty much falling ever since. But it came down and touched this really strong resistance level, which is now going to be support for it. You can see how many times, like this is a daily chart, so this is a pretty serious chart. And you can see it had 3 very, very big touches. It had weeks there where it couldn't break through this level. Then when it did eventually break through, came back and touched it, and off she went. That was great. It's come back down and done it again. It's touched it only briefly. Big rejection candle, and then off she went. So I guess that's coinciding with US dollar strength as well, of course. But it plays out at the technical levels, which is always what we're looking for. So that's quite important. But a good one here. So like I said, this is going to be one that you need to watch. It's going to be smack bang into the 20 now. So you've got to be a little bit careful taking it any longer without any strong confirmation. But again, wait for maybe a little bit of a pullback and then look for a small change of trend, a bit like we did with the Aussie. And that would probably see that one out. So, but another good trade. All right, we'll move on to the US dollar yen. This, amazingly enough, is still not really reacting like the dollar-based pairs. It's found a little bit of strength, but it's not really. It's just not going like the index is and how the other dollar-based pairs are. So it's running its own race, which is fine. We just have to work with it. Yes, it is at a bit of an area of support here. Not a great one. I mean, it's not a very, very clear one. I think the support's better, at sort of that 106, but that's still probably a good 100 pips away. I don't know if it's going to get there, but we'll see. This is one of those ones where I'm not that keen on going along on it until it actually gives us a sign that it wants to. Now, it's got a green candle now. I mean, that's at a 4 hour. So look, we'll take it back to an hour, see if we can see anything. Even on an hour, it's still basically in a free fall, just making a series of lower highs and lower lows. This is the 20 moving average that I'm talking about. Like every time it's pulled back to that, it's giving you another selling opportunity. That happens all the time in a trend. So, really, really good one to follow. But what we want to be seeing before we take this one long is a change of trend. So we want to see this print up a higher low, and then another higher high. So we want to see, basically a bit of a lightning bolt effect. Okay, so we want to see that, and then we want to see that. Okay, and we want to see price close above both of these moving averages, at least on a 1 hour chart, to confirm to us that there is indeed enough power behind this to actually push the trend up. So we want to see a change of trend on this one, and then we could look at potentially longing it again. But for now, just ignore the dollar strength, because it's not really kicking in on the USD yen anyway. Okay, we'll move on to the S&P 500, the one we're all talking about now. This is big fall. This is on a 4 hour. I'll take it out to a daily. You can see the big daily candle. Look, this was, it was already starting to weaken. The last couple of days showed a little bit of weakness. So this is not a huge surprise that it has continued to fall. I guess the surprise is how far it's fallen. But given that it's basically being artificially inflated, and we all know this, so there's no great secret there. It's had a big fall from effectively 131.80 all the way down to, it got to as low, just a tick below 3,000. Now, the 3,000 is a really important zone for it. You can see, if we take it back to a weekly, you can see exactly why that is. That was a really strong resistance point for it. Came back, tested it again. Even when it came back down on its way down last time, not that long ago, it had a go going up again, so this level did try, but then the bear still pushed it down. So this is a very big, it's an interesting candle for it. And look, what else is interesting here? Whether it plays out or not will be an interesting one, but this is a weekly candle, and that's a dead set bearish engulfing candle, and a bearish engulfing candle to that magnitude on a weekly. Wow, I mean, if that closes there, we might start to see the unraveling of this one. So very big one to watch. It's a very big time frame, so I caution that we have to trade this very carefully. But the weekly is telling us if it closes here, I mean, it's still got obviously a day's trading to go through the New York session, so it's still got a fair bit of work to do to maintain this level. But if it does, and it closes around the 3,000, that is a very bearish engulfing candle. Okay, so daily looks weak. We know it's at a key support zone at 3,000, so be careful. Don't just assume it's going to keep falling. It may find good support here, and it might bounce off it. So one, you want to play the smaller numbers on again. Again, this is not going to convince me. I don't really like seeing markets in free fall. I think they're harder to trade. I would like to see this pull back a little bit, and then maybe make a fib retracement of that fall, and potentially sell it off a 38.2 and break that 3,000 level good and proper. I'd like to see it break at the 3,000 tonight, because I think that gives us really good opportunities to go and trade next week. I think the party might start for some of the trends again, and hopefully that will be the case. But just trade this one for a little bit of caution. Just know that if you want to join the short, 3,000 is going to be a bit of a stumbling block for it. So maybe look for a bit of a pullback up, or just wait for it to break 3,000 properly and jump in on that one then. Okay, we will go on to the gold is going pretty much great guns again. It found that level of, I'll just take it down one level. I mean, it feels like I'm repeating myself every week on gold, but it just keeps doing it for us. Like, it's been such a good technical trade this year. It's been really fantastic for so many reasons. But you can see, it's done it again for us this week. It came back down, touched that 1680, which seems to be a really strong level. Resistance into support. It's been support plenty of times now. Rejected very hard off it, and off it went bang, broke through both moving averages, which is significant, and now it's trying to push past the 17, 25, 26. Now, if the big markets continue to fall, it's not going to be a surprise to see this one, go up. I really want to see that break above the 1780, and hopefully push this back up to its glory days, back into the 1800. This is what we really want, and we're hoping this is going to happen. But at the moment, just playing in between the roll reversal zones and support and resistance, you can see that. It's at obviously at the resistance point now, which is in this, basically forming a channel now. So it needs to break the top of this. I wouldn't be longing this. This is not one I'd be just jumping in on. It has to well and truly break this high, close above it on a serious time frame like the daily, and then get involved in that one. But another good trade. All right, the dollar index. Yes, the dollar index has started to show strength. You can see it's pushed up quite nicely. It came down to this area here. I'll put this I'll drop this horizontal line to show you what I'm talking about. That was support level here. We talked about the 96 being pretty strong throughout the week. It's been able to hold up. You can see that candle, not quite a shooting star, but a hammer, sorry, but it's trying to. I mean, it doesn't matter. It's not exactly a hammer, but it was getting damn close to it. So a good rejection candle nonetheless, and that's what we actually want at an area of good support. And we've had a very positive candle since. So that strength to the dollar index has increased, which has obviously helped the CAD earlier. So this is just one of those ones where ideally it'll get back up to the 20, which is probably what we're after, really, like another 150 points on this one, back into the previous, right here it's at resistance. It's a tricky one because it's got resistance right in its face. You can see here, right through this area here, those two bottoms, even here. So it is at a tough little juncture. It's got a little bit of work to do to break this level, but if it does break this level, it really opens itself up to get up to the 200 and the 20 again. So just keep an eye on this one. It needs to break this sort of 96, sort of 75 area. If it gets into the 97s and breaks that level and closes above it, I think it's a really good trade up to this area here, and even potentially up to these previous lows. Okay, the last one we will look at is the ASX 200. All right, this has been basically replicated what the US did. So good fall. It again had these weakness candles. We were talking about this last night actually in the rooms. It's had two good weak candles that although not very very bearish on movement wise, they certainly aren't. This is a daily chart, so you don't want to be seeing that. We had good range candles leading up to that move. Then we had a pretty reasonable rejection on this candle here. Then the next one followed through, tried to push up, and the bears won that one down. Sellers pushed it all the way down and made, again, not a shooting star candle, but getting close to what looks like one. And that, of course, was the catalyst for the big drop down to the 20, which is what we expected it to do. Now, it's probably going to find a little bit of trouble at this level. 57.50 has been a very strong area for it. You've got to go out a long way to know it, but it is a very, very long. You can see here, this is one of the strongest zones that this index has had. You can see this period here. There's the flatlining of the 20 moving average. This is a weekly chart, so every one of these weeks candles is a week, and you're talking about probably maybe 5 or 6 months of action there, where you just look at that. It's unbelievable how hard it was for it to make a decision at this level. It did it again here, so it was obviously very good support for it there. It is right at that level now, so 57.70 to 57.50. Even 57.20, that whole area, that 50 point zone is an extraordinarily tough area for it to break. So I don't expect it's going to break it willy-nilly. I think it's probably going to find some support here. But this is one of those ones where it is going to be led by the US. So just like the 3,000 strong for the US, this is very, very strong for this one here. It's one of those ones where you really want confirmation now. If you're already in the short, which is great, I know a lot of people were, then you've definitely taken your profit. It's certainly an area where you'd want to be taking your profit if you were short. It's not to say it's not going to go shorter, but we want more confirmation now. We want to see it break this level, and I would almost want to see it break this level and come back and test it from below to convince me that it's going to go short. I think it can. It certainly can. The US can certainly go short as well. Our market's not as artificial as the US's in terms of stimulus, but it will still follow what it does. So I would like to see a break of this level and then a test from the bottom before I start to get excited about going short on this one. But for now, probably look for little mini scalping longs off this level. Well, I hope everybody's had a great week's trading. We've had some really, really good moves, especially towards the end of the week. A lot of the setups that we've been talking about have played out, so hopefully everybody got hold of those. And it looks like we're going to have some fireworks for the next few days. So the market is certainly starting to play the game. Have a great weekend, everybody, and see you next week.